Hi everyone, David Kessler here. Welcome to the studio. Today I'd like to talk about a concept that's central to the way I paint and central to the way I teach others to paint. That concept is called paint first, then think. Ray Bradbury, famous author, has a great quote that I love so much. He says, thinking is the enemy of creativity. Right? Thinking is the enemy of creativity. I love that. Because you can't think and create at the same time. You can think something to death, but that's not going to make it better. You can think a painting to death, but that's not going to make it better. It's not going to make it fresher. It makes it from your head rather than from your heart. I like to teach people to paint from their heart, not from their head. So paint first, then think. It's about using both sides of your brain, right? Now this is greatly simplified, but left brain, for the most part, is analytical and exacting and critical. Right brain, on the other hand, is emotional and spontaneous and creative, right? You have to use both sides of your brain as a painter, as if you're doing anything. It doesn't make any difference. Or, of course, if you're an accountant, your left brain is going to be more important. If you're an artist, your right brain is going to be more important. But I encourage my students to use both sides, but use them at different times, right? So paint first. I don't want anybody to think, because we're thinking later. So paint first without thinking, right? Painting from your heart. Just letting your intuition and your spontaneity take over. Then when you think you're finished with your painting, then it's really, really important to do the then think part, right? You did the paint first. So what I have a thinking chair. This is not it. This is a little stool, and I'm sitting over these videos. But I do have a chair in the studio. It's my thinking chair. So when I finish a painting, or I think it's finished, the first thing I do is retreat with my sketchbook to my thinking chair. And I really take a long time to look at what I've done. Then I take my sketchbook and I make a list. Okay, this needs to be better, this can be improved, if I add this color here, this shape was better, you know, these values were stronger, right? It's a whole list of sort of things I need to do that I'm analyzing in the painting that I need to fix later, right? But I didn't analyze it while I was painting it. Because if I'm doing that, then I'm thinking about it too much, right? Because what happens is you get up there and you're nervous anyway, right? I mean, a blank canvas, there's hardly anything scarier, right? As painters, we know there's hardly anything scarier than a blank canvas. It's a big white thing sitting up there. It's like, okay, there it is. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with it? Right? So we're already nervous when we stand up there. Now, if we have to put a stroke on there and think about it, and put a stroke on there and think about it, and put another stroke and think about it, we'll think the thing to death. It'll never get done. It won't be fresh. It won't be spontaneous. Nobody's going to want to look at it. So my thinking is, if you paint it first, if you use your emotion, use your spontaneity, paint from your heart. Don't think it to death. Don't think critically. Because when you start to paint, if you left your left brain in there, your critical nature comes in there, and it's going to criticize everything you do. You put some strokes up there, and it's going to say, oh, no, those aren't good, those aren't right, those colors aren't good together, right? So it inhibits you, it gives you fear, it won't let you do anything. So if you can keep that left brain at bay while you paint quickly, spontaneously, beautifully, from your heart, then you will create paintings that you've always wanted to paint, that are more beautiful, they say something more about you, they're fresher, they're more colorful, they're wonderful. They say something about you. Right? They're from your heart. They are you. Right? So paint first, then think. Right? Use both sides of your brain, but make sure you use them at the appropriate times during the process so that you don't inhibit your natural ability to paint like you. All right? Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.